Dear Music Store spectators, we're here in the beautiful showroom of the Pro Audio department of the much more beautiful music store here in Cologne. Rodney, very welcome to show us new products from Presonus, and I can see over there a nice and new interface. What's that?
Well, we have a whole range of new interfaces. These are the new Audiobox VSL interfaces. And the VSL stands for Virtual Studio Live. You know our Studio Live mixers, very successful, high-end professional mixers. Well, the Studio Live mixers run on the computer and run with an iPad. So we thought, why don't we just take the guts of a Studio Live mixer and put it in a small box? So this is basically 4 channels of a Studio Live in a small box. And that's with the fat channel, with all the effects, compressors, EQ, everything. So we have 3 of these. There's a 22, which is 2 in, 2 out, a 44, which is 4 in, 4 out, and the big one, 1818, which is 8 analog in and out, plus 8 ADAT in and out, plus SPDIF. And of course, MIDI and USB 2, our first USB 2 interfaces.
So you took the whole developments of the technologies of the Studio Live, and you put everything in there, so it must be very expensive.
Not at all. The little one, the 22, is 199 euros. This one, the 44, which I really like, this is my own that I take on tour with me. This is 299. And the big 1818 is 499 euros. And that's with all the software that comes with it.
Incredible. So the good sounding converters and preamping of the Studio Live.
Everybody loves the preamps in the Studio Live. They're really, really high quality. Everyone who uses like the big 24.4, you know, we've just had, I just had today, Joe Satriani and Sammy Hagar. They're taking it on their next tour. So they're touring with it right now. And so it's the same preamps and it's the same fat channel, all in a little tiny box.
And there's a software which goes with that.
This is the control software. And if you've seen the Studio Live control software, it's pretty much the same thing. So I've got memories for all my scenes and all my channels, and each channel I've got effects. So if I click here, you see for each channel I've got a noise gate, which I can edit like this, a compressor, so I've got a full compressor built in there, and a 3-band equalizer. So it's exactly the same as the fat channel on the Studio Live 1602 desk. And I have each one of those on each one of my channels. Also on the output channels. So I can even EQ the outputs if I want to. I can have those just for monitoring. So if I just need a compressor for the vocalist, but I don't want to record with the compressor, it normally will just keep it on the monitoring. But if I click on post, it will record it, post the compressor and the EQ. So I have a full recording channel. So I have, you know, on this one, 4 channels of all those effects going in, plus 4 coming out of the DAW, so it's really 8 channels. And each one of those channels is also the gate compressor and EQ. And I've got 2 multi-effects and 4 analog outputs. And each of those also has a gate compressor and EQ. So altogether, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 gates, 12 compressors, and 12 equalizers built in.
So is that only a sound card or an interface for recording stuff, or also for other applications?
It's actually a live mixer. And like, it's a Studio Live desk. So if you're working with backing tracks, if you're a small group with backing tracks and you don't want to haul a full mixer around, like say it's just a small acoustic act with a guitar and vocals and maybe a couple of guitars, or maybe if you're a laptop electronic band and you've got backing tracks and you use the laptop live, you can just use this as your mixer. I mean, I could just use outputs 3 and 4 from my stage monitors and take the main monitors to the PA, and I'd have an entire mixer right here. And also you have iPod control. If you want remote control, the iPad software is an Apple. It should be available very shortly as a free download. So you just download that to your iPad and you can control all of these functions on the iPad.
Okay, so let's repeat. You can record, you can play live, and you can record and play live at the same time.
Yes, and you can remote control everything.
Incredible. So, but we have to take the next step to the next level, because we have here an interface with a sequencer program.
Oh, the other thing I should mention is that we also have all the drag and drop stuff that we get with everything else.
Oh.
So if I want to say record an acoustic guitar, I've got an acoustic guitar preset. I drag it to the channel I want and will automatically set that channel up for me. So if you're not too sure of how to use a compressor and EQ or whatever, if you're a beginner, you can just drag one in and get going.
Okay, but you can also program your own setups.
Yeah, you can program your own and you can save them. You just add it like this and make a new preset. It's no problem at all.
So prepared for live?
Yeah, and absolutely. And we have a reverb and delay units in there as well. So there's 2 multi-effects with lots of presets for those 2, and you can just edit those any way you want to. So you've got everything you need. And also it comes with Studio One version 2.
So that's the next step, right?
Yeah, Studio One is, we brought it out about 2 years ago, and now we've just brought out version 2, and people are pretty excited. I mean, we're really excited. I'm very, very happy with this. Version 1 was quite successful because there were two things that really people loved with version 1. One, it's really easy and fast to use. It's fast to learn and fast to use. And 2, it sounds awesome. It sounds so much better than all the... Everyone says the sound of it is so good. And so a lot of beginners loved it because they could learn very quickly. But a lot of professionals loved it because if you're a professional, time is money. You know, if I work fast, I need to get the job done. So we did really, really well on those 2 types of people. But there were still some things missing because it was still version 1. So with version 2, we've added some things that were missing, but we've added things that nobody else has even dreamed of. But one of the things was important for us is that even if we were going to add new features, we would never make it more complicated. So it's still as easy to use as before, but now there are some incredible features. One of the big things, of course, is audio editing. We did pretty good audio editing before, but we didn't have the kind of pitch correction that something like Melodyne has. And lots of other software, they have things that work a bit like Melodyne. And we thought, well, maybe we could make something that works a bit like Melodyne, but Melodyne is already there. And Melodyne is already the best. Everyone knows that Melodyne is wonderful. Yeah. So we thought, why don't we just put Melodyne in here? So we called up Ceremony and we agreed that Melodyne would become part of put into Studio One. But if you've ever used Melodyne, it's a wonderful program. I love it very much. But you can't work in real time, really. You have to play the track into the Melodyne and then analyze it and work with it and then play it back into your song. And we wanted to make it quicker and easier. So with Ceremony together, we invented a new type of plugin. It's called ARA, Audio Random Access Plugin. So we're the first software to support it, first host software. And Melodyne is the first plugin software. So if you already have Melodyne, you can do these amazing things. So I have a song here, and if I right-click on a track, I have a menu that says Edit with Melodyne. So the first time I do that, it will analyze the track. It takes a little while. It analyzes the track. But as soon as it analyzes the track, after that, Studio One will remember forever. So now, because this track's already Melodyned, I just double-click on the track, and it comes up in Melodyne. And Melodyne is here in the editor of Studio One.
So this is the first plug-in. All others are plug-ons, right? This is a plug-in.
Absolutely, because before, what we call plug-ins are basically just another program that runs at the same time. Yeah. But this one really does plug in. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's integrated, a marriage between two programs.
Yeah, it becomes totally a part of the program. So anyone who already has Melodyne, if they install Studio One, it just comes up inside Studio One as if it was always part of Studio One. So now what I can do is if I play the song, I can play the whole song and hear Melodyne, and whoops, oh, hang on, there we go. And you can see that Melodyne will track along at the same time. And now I can actually edit everything in real time. I'll just solo it and you hear what I'm doing. And I can do all my pitch changing, correction. I can change the length of notes. I can change the vibrato. I can correct the pitch. Everything in real time. And you can see here, everything in real time when the song is running. There's no more playing in and out and all this other stuff. I can undo, redo everything in real time inside Studio.
All audio files are now like MIDI stuff.
Yeah, all of it is just stuff. You can do anything you want with any audio you want, anytime you want.
So feel free about thinking what to do it, right?
Absolutely. And you can do it while the whole song is working and running in the background. What's really nice as well is that, to show you the integration, if I go deeper into this track and open the track a little bit, you'll see that it shows me not only my audio waves, but it also now shows me the pitches, because Melodyne can tell Studio One what the pitches are, so the Studio One arranger knows what the pitches are all the time. So I can see on all these tracks, that's my lead vocal, my guitar, my bass, all of these tracks all has Melodyne on it. So I've Melodyned almost every track in this entire mix, all running real time at the same time.
What happens if we use now a guitar track and we'll put it into the Melodyne?
Well, let's try. I did it here with the kick drum, for example. This is my kick drum. Now, Melodyne Essentials comes free with Studio One Professional. So if you buy Studio One, if you want Melodyne, if you buy Studio One Professional, you get Melodyne Essentials free, and that has the melodic and percussive algorithms. It'll do only monophonic or percussive. So I've used the percussive algorithm here to analyze the bass or the kick drum. So that can also analyze the tempo and extract my tempo if I want to, or move it around. But I can now do drum replacement. Maybe I want to do a remix of this song. So I'd like a different kick drum. So I grab an electronic kick, and again I just drag and drop, and I've just opened the drum machine, and here's my electronic kick, and it's an empty instrument track. There's no MIDI there. So I need to put the MIDI there. So how do I do that? Well, I just grab the kick drum track here and drag it down here, and it automatically turns into a MIDI track. And here's the MIDI kick drum right here. There's all my kick drums done as MIDI. So now I just say select all, and I will drag that down to my kick drum, right? And now when I play the song, it's playing the kick drum back. So here's the whole song with a new kick drum. So that's how we do drum replacement, just drag and drop. So I can do that with anything. You said guitar, okay. I'll grab a synthesizer. I'll make the guitar is kind of a dank, da-dank, dank. I'll make a sequencer on that. I pull in a synthesizer. There's this kind of growly moog synthesizer. I like the guitar to play that synthesizer. I pick up the guitar track, I drag it onto the synthesizer, and now the guitar plays the synthesizer. There's the original guitar, and there's the synth. So now I can make my remix. Just
when you're a guitar player, you can use your guitar to play bass, keys, layers, whatever you want.
If you're a guitar player, you never need to touch a keyboard again. You can play all your riffs on guitar and turn them into a synth bass line, turn them into piano, turn them into anything you like.
Even a drummer with his rhythms.
Yeah. I mean, if you have the full Melodyne, if you upgrade to the full Melodyne editor, or if you already have Melodyne editor, it does polyphonic. So let's show how that works. I'll go to this track. On this track here, I have a polyphonic acoustic guitar. The track starts with this very simple acoustic guitar and some cymbals and stuff. And I have Melodyne in here, polyphonic. So here's a polyphonic acoustic guitar track. And I could literally edit the individual chords if I want to and change the chords. I can make this sound pretty out of tune if I want, but that's not really what I want. But you can change the chord after you play it if you want to. So if you decide that the chords weren't right, you can change them later.
And you can see the chords then.
And you can see the chords and edit them directly. But what we can also do is we can use those chords to do other amazing things. So now I will just go to my instruments and get a pad sound. And let's get a pad in here. And we'll drag in a pad sound. And I've just dragged in this pad here. And I will drag the guitar onto the pads track. And now the song sounds like this.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If you can't play keys.
Yeah.
So
now there's the polyphonic. That's what the guitar is playing. It's now playing that on the keyboard.
So it's so easy to arrange now.
Yeah, you can. If you're a guitar player, it's just a magnificent thing. But even if you're a vocalist, you can sing the whole song. If you can sing the song, you can make the song. Because you can turn your voice into a bass line or into a keyboard part or anything you like. It's no problem at all. Or you can just correct, or you can remix, or it just completely gets rid of the division between audio and MIDI. It just, if you can think of an idea, and it allows you to just be creative. No matter what kind of musician you are, you can create the song you want to create. So
you have the idea, and the program is doing the job at the end.
That's why I bought a computer.
Yeah.
I bought, that's my point, is I can be a musician again. I don't have to be a computer programmer. All I have to do is create the music, and the computer will do the stuff that computers are supposed to do. So
a year ago we had some sketches on the computer. Nowadays with Studio One we have a real song.
A real song, absolutely. So what else have we got? We've added a few small things as well, like, for example, you'll see here if I open the instruments, we now have a tab browser for the instruments. You can get any instruments directly. A little tiny thing, but really cool. Same with any effects on a channel, all the effects come up in tabs. We added new folder tracks, we've added MIDI, freezing MIDI tracks, all these small things. But another thing we added for guitar players is we added a great new effect called Ampere XT. And this is a wonderful guitar plugin. And it looks like a pedal board with a guitar amp. And I produce a lot of guitar bands. I use a lot of plugins, Guitar Rig and Amplitube and Studio Devil. But to be honest, this is the one I like best now. I love this plugin. It sounds really good. It's got a beautiful warm response like a real tube amp. And you have a lot of different tube models here, your typical British and American type models, and bass amps and so on. Also, I've got here lots of different cabinets. So I've got all the standard type of cabinets that I'll need to have, like your standard Vox type and Marshall types and so on. Also mic positions. I've got 3 different microphones for each cab, and I can edit the mic positions. And the stomp boxes, well, they work. Every guitarist knows how that works. It's easy. And if you have a MIDI foot controller, it's very easy to program to use this. I have a Keith McMillan soft step, and I programmed it in 2 minutes to be my pedal board. So you can use this live, no problem. In fact, my band, we do use it live. What we have that none of the others have, though, is this thing, which is a user cabinet. What that means is that if those cabinet models aren't the ones you want, or if you want special cabinet models, maybe you have a great, fantastic Marshall stack at home, you love the sound of it, or a wonderful orange cab or something like that, you can create your own impulse responses and just drag them in here and have the sound of your own stack.
And how to do that?
Well, it used to be very difficult, but some people put some on the internet. You can just go to the internet and download them and drag them straight in. But for people who really want to, a real power user who really likes guitar sounds, we built a new plugin called IR Maker. And IR Maker makes these impulse responses from your cab. And so all you need to do is put a microphone in front of your cab like you would to record with, and you detect the latency time of the system using that button, and then you just press the record button. And what it does is it creates a frequency, it goes whoop, 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 whoop through the frequencies, and it makes a recording of the sound of that guitar cab, right? And saves it and analyzes it, and then puts it straight into Ampere. So if you're in a studio that has a wonderful sound in guitar amp, you can just sample the sound of that guitar amp and take it home with you. Or take it live with you.
On stage.
On stage. It's no problem. So it's really easy to make your own. Or just download lots on the internet and just try.
You never lose the sound.
And you never lose the sound of that.
You can sell the old box right on eBay or something.
Or, I've had a couple of old guitar amps that sometimes worked, sometimes didn't. So when it does work, you can get the sound of it and keep it forever. It's a wonderful thing. Now, also, of course, you can make, with IR Maker, you can make impulse responses of real halls. Yeah. Reverbs. If there's a wonderful church hall that you have that you really like, or something like that, or you've got a great sound in the studio, you can use that to save the sound of the studio. And in order to use that, we've got another new plugin, which is called Open Air. And Open Air is a reverb plugin. And let's just open that up. There's Open Air. Open Air is a reverb, it's an impulse response convolution reverb, a sampling reverb. So I can just drag and drop any of those impulse responses straight into this. But of course, we also have lots with the program. So for example, if I go to my impulse responses, you'll see what we have here. We've got sampled presets from every great reverb unit that the world's ever seen practically. So if you've always wanted a great reverb unit, you can have it. You can have all of them.
I can see here the 480.
Right, for example, a 480.
Let's hear some stuff.
Well, let's try this song. I'll put this song on. Whoops. Let's try the plate from the 480. For example, the fat plate from the 480. Great sound. I just drag that in, and now I've got a 480 fat plate right there. Or maybe I want a room from the 480. I just go and get the large wood room from the 480. And that's the classic. It's totally clean, clear sound. Yeah. If you prefer someone like an M6000 reverb, maybe you'd like the big non-linear sort of Genesis sound, you know. That Phil Collins, Peter Gabriel sound. All of those, we have 990, we have the 90, you know, all the classic reverbs are all in there. Thousands of presets. And again, you can just download more from the internet. I downloaded a whole bunch from the internet, some great live recording, live concert halls. I have concert halls from all over the world in here now.
It's then also easy to store, so yeah, drag and drop.
You just drag them onto your hard drive and drag and drop in here and they work. And also in my studio, I have a beautiful old Ursa Major Stargate, one of the very first digital reverbs, very old but very lovely. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I got it up and blew the dust off it and sampled all my Stargate. So these are all the reverbs from my own old Ursa Major system. So I think I will put these on the internet sometime and give them away to people. So it's very easy to do your own recordings with it. So again, if you're a power user, you know, you can do anything you want with this. Like I say, for someone who just wants to, a new person who just wants to get in, just wants to record, you can learn this program in 20 minutes. But if you're a real power user and you really want to go the extra distance, the program will go anywhere you need to go. And it'll do anything you need it to do. And we're very proud of being able to cover all of that. So yeah, that's what we've got.
Is it available at the moment? That's the most important thing.
It's been available for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. Lots of people are buying it. People are absolutely loving it. If you've got version 1, you can upgrade directly, no problem. It's available right now. You guys should have it in stock, I hope. The full professional, the artist version, which has unlimited tracks, unlimited effects, effect slots, everything like that, that's free with every piece of Presonus hardware. If you buy any Presonus interface, even the cheapest audio box, you get Studio One for free. If you want to have the full professional version, and the professional version has video, does mastering, all the mastering stuff's in there as well. Also, the professional version comes with Melodyne Essentials. Also, it comes with Native Instruments complete elements. So you get Contact and a Reactor, Abbey Road drums, everything. It's a huge monumental package, and 19 gigabytes of sounds. That costs 379 euros, which is an unbelievable price, frankly. So you're getting, it's an awful lot of software for the money.
So everything is done now.
Everything, well.
Now it's on you, dear customers, to check this out and to work with and to be creative and much more information. Are there much more information than now? Yeah. I think so. we have a new website we just put up called, it's studio1.presonus.com. All right.
And we have full of video tutorials and introduction stuff. We have all the information you ever need there. Lots and lots and lots and lots of great videos.
On your site, much more information. Also on our site, on musicstore.de. Thank you, Rodney.
Thank you.